Hey guys, I'm Sean Price.
I'm Tanre Franklin.
And I'm Grace Shockey.
And welcome to SuperStuff.
SuperStuff, yeah!
How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing great.
I'm so glad Tanre's finally on my podcast.
Yeah!
And Grace too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're taking a trip right now. We're in Chicago.
We're on an awesome trip.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be awesome. Not like an acid trip, more like a vacation trip. But I mean, can it really be a vacation when you're scrounging for money the whole weekend?
No.
Yes, because that's what we normally do.
Yeah, pretty much how it goes.
But we are in Chicago, going to Walker Stalker / Heroes and Villains Con.
This is the second time we've been to this, but last year we went as
Employees.
Employees.
We were going with a company that we worked for, and we were setting up a booth and selling video games and stuff.
This year we're going as spectators, and I'm looking forward to it.
And it's going to be so much fun actually being able to cosplay.
This is my first big con ever.
Yes.
Welcome to the con game. It's going to be amazing.
So many people, it's going to make your anxiety crazy, but they're all going to dress up like superheroes and villains, and it's going to be the greatest thing you'll ever see in your life.
And don't be surprised if people want to get pictures with you, because you're probably going to look amazing.
Yeah, your costumes look pretty cool, so people will definitely want pictures with you. Oh, no, absolutely. Yeah. Most, like, when we were just employees and stuff doing the Comic-Cons, we asked for pictures with everyone. I could probably go through my phone and scroll through, like, millions of pictures of just me and Tanre with, like, random people dressed up like the Flash. I have a picture of me and John Heater just randomly. He bought GoldenEye from me one time. But, like, yeah, people will definitely, like, they'll more than likely want a picture with you because your costume is pretty dope. I'm going to expect a couple pictures because my costume is pretty cool. I, however, think Tanre will probably get the most recognition because his costume is freaking amazing.
And I can't believe I thought of it.
Yeah. We were trying to brainstorm his costume the other night, and he came up with this.
I can't wait for people to see it.
How much did we spend on the costume? $8? $8. Because all we had to buy was a shirt, and we made everything else.
Everything else is
Those are the best costumes, dude. Those are the best cosplays. Oh.
And, like, this is my first time really getting to cosplay, because normally when I'm working, I don't think about doing all that. I'm thinking about money.
No one's going to take Captain America seriously if he's trying to hackle him into something, you know?
Right? But the best part about doing all this, I think, and don't get me wrong, the convention is going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Is the trip, because last year, Sean and I spent the better part of 8 months on the road, traveling across the country, going to conventions.
In a big-ass van with a big-ass man. That's how I describe my job to people. People were like, what do you do? I was like, I travel around the country in a big-ass van with a big-ass man. They're like, oh, so you're like a truck driver? I was like, nope, I'm super gay.
Yeah. But the beauty of it all is that we have done a couple shows at the Actors Guild together, but this is what bonded us. This is what brought us closer together, and it was so much fun. And like we met during Sister Act the musical and stuff. That was fun, but like once we started working together, once we started traveling together, that's when it like spiraled, man. Oh yeah,
I mean,
it was awesome.
We straight up like friendship ignited. It was crazy. He instantly became the 5th member of Super Adventure Brothers, and then it was on. You know?
I'm like the cool older brother.
Yeah, it's like when you compare us to like the David Dobrik vlog squad. Like I'm David because I pay for everything and make all the videos and edit everything, and Tanre's Jason Nash because he's way older than all of us and he's the funniest one.
I love it. It's pretty awesome. And
he's 56. We're all 12.
So the cool thing is, I can buy alcohol. None of them can.
I can buy alcohol.
Well, you can.
Grace is the first ever Super Adventure sister, by the way.
I can be a bro.
Speaking in the microphone, and I'll believe you.
I can be a bro.
Sure you can.
Notice she said that very manly.
Phil called me a bro once, and
Phil called you a bro? Whoa!
Yeah. Remember when we went for his birthday?
I totally remember that. Yeah.
And he was talking about sexual things.
Yeah, it takes a while.
That sounds like Phil.
It takes a while for Phil to put his stamp on someone. So.
And I was like,
By the way, I would like to take this time to give a shout out to the other members of Super Adventure Bros.
Oh, absolutely.
George Hines, Anthony Frontino, and
Philip Essenmucker. He's the only person so far as this podcast is recorded, he's the only person in the crew that hasn't recorded a podcast with me. But he's my profile picture on everything, so he's still getting a percentage because
yeah, it's him with the earmuffs, right?
Yeah, it's him in the Spider-Man costume with the earmuffs behind the Dill Center.
Yep.
But
that was a fun photo to take.
I'll tell you this.
Grace is our photographer for all of our cosplay and everything needs.
She does a wonderful time.
Finger guns, but they're there.
If this were a recorded podcast.
This is awesome because, like, I have a little brother, and he's not little anymore. He's taller than me. It's kind of upsetting. But with these 4 guys, they're pretty much like my little brothers, and they kind of look up to me, which is cool.
We all look a lot alike, too. Like,
we're all on the same ground.
You're tall, black, and muscular. I'm tall, black, and muscular.
About that, I've been meaning to tell you that
you're adopted.
You're
Sean.
adopted.
I'm not black. What do you mean? I'm not black.
You're really. How about this?
Shit.
Let's shine a light on this. How about we'll just say you're really light brown.
Oh, don't give me that kind of freedom.
You're light brown to the point that you're white.
I'm white. Fuck.
I didn't say that.
I can walk down the street and not be oppressed. This is terrible.
But no, like I said, the conventions have been amazing. Like last year, it all started with a trip to St. Louis.
Can you say that in a British accent?
Okay. Oi, he started with a trip down to St. Louis, and he became brothers, and he saw me in my knickers.
Did I? Is that the first time I ever saw you in your underwear?
No, actually, no. That was probably during our shows at the
I think it was during Sister Act, or maybe Starcatcher. I
was
kind of
Sister
roped you
You
into
see
Starcatcher,
so
though.
many naked people in theater.
Yeah, that is true. Straight up.
So many naked people in theater.
Especially when you work for the company that we work for, Celebration.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up, like, everyone's just like, hey, look at my boobs. And I'm like, great.
And they're all very nice boobs.
You hear that? Everyone, Grace approves of
10
boobs.
out of 10.
No, I'm never looking, though, is the thing. Like, when we're getting in costume and stuff, I'm focused on putting my costume on.
Exactly.
That's like,
pretty much, it's almost like you're with family. And you
don't even think about it. It's crazy. Like, if someone's just, like, getting naked and into costume next to you, you're not even...
I don't pay attention, honestly. I'm like, you know what? I need to get ready. I got to go get my mic put on. I got to it's a process. And don't get me wrong, there's attractive people. But,
but you never really... Like that, that's how I... Yeah. It's like...
I'm more of a pervert than the 2 guys I'm with right now.
Oh, shit.
Well, yeah, but you're not doing anything in the shows.
That's true.
Yeah, when it comes to the Actors Guild and stuff, it's way different. Like Celebration, I'm the same at Celebration. Like I don't even look because I'm usually helping people get into the costume because I'm one of the only people that knows how to put them on. But I'm never looking there because I really don't care, you know.
That's fair.
But at the Actors Guild, it's the same as opposed to like if you're one of the people. That's why I usually have you guys get dressed separate and stuff just in case like one of the guys that works for me is getting changed to the same area as one of the girls and they're like being a little creepy and I'm like, hey, you're a teenager, you need to leave.
It's not even so much that, it's just that like if some passerby sees it, they're gonna be like, oh well, he's just
there's no passerbys in my office, so
well, I haven't been to the office yet.
Oh, you've never been to the office?
Oh, it's really nice.
It's really cool. We have a picture of the Last Supper, but it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Christmas present.
Yeah. That's on the wall in the office. And it used to have my Infinity War comics, but I took those down to put in my actual comic collection.
They were really
and what Sean failed to mention is that since we've been doing all this stuff together, I'm like an unofficial member of his family.
Yeah.
Like,
I
stay with him when I come into town, and we spend a lot of time together.
Oh yeah, for sure. We spend a whole lot of time together.
But like I said, this is like I moved away, and I mean
it's crazy how well we've kept in touch too. Because like sometimes when people move away, like I have friends that since high school they've moved away or I've moved away. I moved in high school, so like a lot of my friends from back where I used to live, I don't even talk to anymore because we're terrible about keeping in touch. But you have some way of keeping me in there, you stupid motherfucker.
It's what I do, and like I don't know. There's just a bond that we have, and it's.
Is it a James Bond?
No, it's a covalent bond.
I know what that is. Science major. What up?
Oh yeah, Grace is a science major.
But it's
pre-med.
Ooh, she's smart.
I barely graduated high school, babe. Like, I don't even...
I graduated high school with honors.
It cracks me up that you are so smart...
And so stupid.
And so stupid at the same time.
No, straight
I
up.
don't get it.
What was the person that I didn't know who it was on the way over here?
Oh, God. Who was it?
Ulysses.
Yeah, Ulysses.
Yeah, no idea. No fucking clue.
Very influential. Are you allowed to cuss in your podcast?
Oh my god. Did I just say the F word? Oh, hey, guess this one's going to be marked explicit. I heard he said shit earlier, so we're good.
But, no, it's...
wah, wah, wah. Hey, it's fine. They can listen to the first 3 episodes on loop.
But, no, it's just... You're like a brother to me, and like as I've told you all the time, you ever need me,
bro, that's pretty cringe. Pretty cringe, bro.
Pretty cringe, bro. But no, let's see. Last year it started with a trip to St. Louis. We went to Toledo, Chicago,
Cleveland,
Cincinnati. We went quite a few places together. We spent a lot of time in Ohio. I hate Ohio.
I spend a lot of time in Cincinnati as well.
Yeah, but that's when you're dying. We were having fun.
Who says you can't have fun and die at the same time?
That's literally my life.
We're all dying on the inside.
No, I'm dying on the outside, man. Have you seen my knees? Like,
and he calls me old.
Flash's tum-tum. Grace has a freaking needle always sticking in her.
It's not a needle, it's a feeding tube. It's plastic.
Oh, much better.
Yeah.
So, Magneto can't go after you.
Correct.
Ooh.
It's all plastic.
It's pretty cringe, bro. No, let's get back on the costume that you're making. Let's tell people about it.
Oh.
Because by the time this comes out, the video will have come out already.
Okay.
So, like, if you haven't seen our Super Adventure Brother vlogcasts from Comic-Con, the trip that we're on right now, please go watch those. That way you know what costume he's talking about.
Okay, so I got to thinking, and I'm a little heavy set, so
just a little, like just enough where it's kind of heavy set, but not enough to where you're fat.
Okay, let's just call it what it is. Let's call a spade a spade.
Wait, I'm a Twizzler walrus.
And now he's putting Twizzlers in his mouth like a walrus.
That's exactly what I just said. I'm a Twizzler walrus.
God, okay. Anyway, I digress. So I wanted to. I'm obviously there's not a lot of black superheroes out there that I can
name
cosplay.
6.
That I mean that's compared to the white ones.
Oh no, there's so many more white ones.
The ratio's kind of fucked up,
flawed. Yeah.
But here's what I decided to do. I went and I bought a bright yellow T-shirt, not like traffic stop yellow, like actual yellow, and I'm going as canceled by Netflix Luke Cage. So I'm going to shave my head tonight, and I'm going to have a shirt, my yellow shirt.
Are you leaving your beard, or are you shaving it to a goatee?
I'm going to shave it to a goatee.
Okay.
And
so you're at least taking care of yourself a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. We're going to get some like pizza. We just ordered our first authentic Chicago deep dish stuffed pizza.
Yeah,
it's on its way, hopefully soon. But I'm going to get like some pizza stains on my shirt and stuff like that. And we made a cardboard sign that says, canceled by Netflix, will hero for food. And I think it's going to be the greatest thing ever.
I think people are going to want pictures with you and stuff.
I think it's going to be awesome.
Or they're going to at least take a picture of you and put it all over the internet. It's going to be
take a picture.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a great costume.
I'm going to like post up on a corner somewhere and just sit down and just hold this. This looks sad.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. But no, like these opportunities have been afforded to us, and it's really neat because like I said, last year when we were working, we got to see some of the dopest cosplays you have ever seen.
Oh my god, do you remember the Doc Ock one?
The Doc Ock one was
with the
awesome.
Movable arms. He had like remote control arms that he moved around and picked stuff up with. It was amazing.
It was funky fresh. But
those are the type of people that should be running the world.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Like, come on. I've worked in cosplay for a while. I made armor for the LARP community, and I made weapons and stuff, and I made my own costumes to a T. But I could never do something like that. Are you kidding me? Like these people that come in with like these Optimus Prime cosplays.
That's what I'm saying. Like some of the cosplays that people make are so like innovative.
Oh, hold on just a second.
It's crazy.
I'm going to send you some of the cosplays that we got to see.
Awesome.
There was this guy at a Comic-Con that made a glove. It was like a gauntlet type thing. When he went like this, 3 blades shot out. It was a Wolverine cosplay, but it looked so real. So real. It was amazing.
That sounds super cool.
Yeah. Oh no, straight up, yeah.
Pun intended.
I will tell you this. I went to New York Comic Con last year.
Yeah,
with a couple
you
friends
did
of mine,
that without me.
and I saw some of the most amazing cosplays. But I sent them to you.
You sent them to Grace?
Yeah, I sent them to Grace.
Here, I'll pause this so you can get your phone. Okay, we're back. Oh yeah, there's the Doc Ock.
Yeah, that was.
Oh my gosh.
That guy was
incredible.
amazing.
That was elaborate.
Yeah, straight up. But yeah, man, it's gonna be crazy. And this actually, this was the Walker Stalker. I think was our third or fourth big Comic-Con.
Yeah,
and it was great. You're gonna really like it, Grace. There's a lot of guest appearances and stuff. This is gonna be your first big Comic-Con, right?
Yeah.
And this is like your first time actually in a big city.
Yes.
Instead of like being like you've been in New York, but you've been in the state of New York. You haven't been like in New York City.
Yeah, it was Dunkirk with nuns.
Yeah. So this is your first time like in Chicago, and we actually went and sightseeing today. We went around and looked at the city and stuff.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
The female Hellboy.
Hellboy.
Oh yeah.
Oh girl.
Yeah.
But we went around. We saw Cloud Gate. We saw Willis Tower. Yeah, and Grace's whole plan. I told her about the Big Bean, and you just go ahead and tell him.
I decided that my one goal in life was to flick the bean in Chicago, and I still want that made on a T-shirt. That I flicked the bean
in Chicago.
What can you say about that? And it happened.
Tanre, if we ever do the battle bus idea that I had, we're gonna make I flicked the bean in Chicago T-shirts and sell them at the Bean.
Yes.
Oh my god, I'll wear them. All of them, like
I'll have your face. I'll have your face on the back going like this.
Bisexual approved.
Bisexual approved. Same.
Let's see. This is from New York Comic Con. Chung-Li and Cammy.
Oh my gosh, those are so nice.
Those were awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then what was the guys that did Balrog and
we had in St. Louis we had Balrog, Vega, Ken,
Ryu.
Somebody did Blanca too.
Someone did a really sick Blanca. It was like someone's grandma. They did a really cool Blanca costume.
I did not get to show you this. This is chainmail.
Oh, that's dope.
That was so
That's
sick.
dragon scale.
Yeah, or dragon scale.
Oh my gosh.
It's a Batman dragon scale costume. We need to stop showing each other pictures on the podcast because like no one else can see these. We're just like marveling over things. Pun intended.
The Batman one weighed 45 pounds, and the Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah,
was
chainmail is
35.
heavy as hell.
Oh yeah, chainmail's super heavy. Oh my goodness.
Got a shirt from a friend just to wear for like photos, and that was back when I weighed like 70 pounds, and it crushed.
What do you weigh now? 40.
I weigh 115.
Yeah,
I'm a real adult
I
now.
weigh like 215.
You've seen Fairly Odd Appearance, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Stop showing each other pictures. We're on a podcast right now. Yeah. Jordan Von Strangle.
But a woman.
Yeah. And
Which
this
is
was
hotter.
Like a big ass Shinron.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That was hanging.
Not a big
over
Dragon
top.
Ball Z fan, but that is pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Oh, and then this will always.
Oh, the Infinity Gauntlet.
That was my favorite. I just look so mad.
You do.
But I mean, I have that power. What do I?
Right. Yeah. But yeah. So like, as far as cosplay goes, what's one costume that you guys have always wanted to make? It no matter how you look. Like if you could.
Cyborg from Teen Titans.
Like a nice cyborg costume.
A nice cyborg costume.
Okay.
I think that would be dope.
I think it would be awesome, and you got like a goofy personality too, so you can pull it off.
Would fit right in.
Madeline Pryor's Goblin Queen.
Okay.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
So sexual, but if I had the body.
Oh yeah. Straight. If I had the body, I would do all kinds of cool cosplays.
Right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately, all of us, well, two of us, really like food. The other one can't digest it.
Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team. Speaking of the team, actually, this actually wasn't supposed to be our original crew for this con. George was supposed to come with us. However,
George.
He had to cancel last minute. And I asked Grace in the moment. I was like, "Hey, you want to go?" She was like, "Sure." And now she's here with us. It was like so super, super, super cool.
Yeah.
The most impulsive thing I've ever done.
Good. Keep doing things like that. It makes the world go around. But back on the cosplay thing, one cosplay that I've always wanted to do, I want to do Darth Helmet from Spaceballs.
That would be awesome. That would require a big ass helmet.
Oh, are you? Of course. And I think I know how to make the helmet. I just also need a Darth Vader costume. But yeah, I really want to do Darth helmet. I'd like to do Austin Powers. I would like to do a good Gambit costume. I would really like to do a cool Gambit costume. My dog is named after Gambit. I love Gambit. Remy LeBeau is the boy.
Kitty Pryde. I love your dogs, by the way.
Oh, they're the sweetest. My dachshunds, their names are Gambit and Kitty Pryde, and they're the best in the world.
Unfortunately, they don't have the powers of those two. I've seen Kitty Pryde run into shit because she can't phase through it.
I was literally getting ready to say, "Oh, Kitty can walk through walls," after she runs the fuck into them.
Poor dogs.
God, she's got something wrong with her in her head. She's got something messed up there because she's just doopy.
Sean,
she's just like her father.
Kitty has autism.
My mom. Oh God. Oh.
It's the best.
She's the best woman in the world. My mother. She's been on 2 podcasts so far. My mom has. And you guys have been on 1 so far. Yay!
Yeah!
I'm so glad that you guys are actually on this podcast, though, for real. I've been trying to get Tanre in the podcast forever.
I'm glad we finally made it happen.
Yeah, dude. Straight up.
But, this has just been awesome. And my biggest thing is that, this isn't as important to me as I want it to be super important and awesome for Grace, because...
Oh, yeah, this will be her first big Comic-Con, man.
This is huge.
And this is one of the bigger ones that we went to last year. I mean, it wasn't as big as C2E2, but...
Yeah. But we only got to go there for 1 day.
Yeah.
And that was, 4 hours of us kind of walking around.
Yeah.
But I did get to meet Katie Lotz, who plays...
And you met Dave Bautista, too.
Oh, Dave Bautista. Yes, that was dope.
Katie Lotz is Diva from... No? Who's Katie Lotz? No,
she is on Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, that's it.
She was on
She's
Arrow.
White Canary.
She's White Canary, yeah. She was on Arrow, but she's on Legend of Tomorrow. But she was really sweet. I got a picture with her and a little mini Polaroid that I have in my bedroom. And then Dave Bautista was... Here, okay, let me...
Do you remember the Spider-Man chick?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
You're about to talk about her, aren't you?
Yeah,
okay, let's go.
So, we're standing in line waiting for Dave Bautista, and we meet these 3 people that are in front of us. It's 2 guys and a girl. Well, one of the guys was he married? Yeah, he's married to
Okay, it was your casual, it was your basic nerdy couple. There was a guy who was really, really nerdy, but he was just attractive enough to where he had a super hot girlfriend, and she also kind of liked comics, so she threw on a sexy Mary Jane cosplay. Continue.
I thought it was Spider-Gwen.
It was Mary Jane.
Okay. But
I'm 100% positive it was Mary Jane.
She was hot.
She was very, very attractive.
Let's call it what it was.
Very attractive. So was he, though. So
they were a good-looking couple.
They were a very good-looking couple.
But all the while, we're sitting there brainstorming. Sean's over here brainstorming stupid questions to ask Dave Bautista. So...
Well, yeah.
But, I mean...
What did they end up asking him?
Hold on. I'll tell you what you asked him.
I don't remember.
But, Dave Bautista, he's Drax on Guardians of the Galaxy. And, so...
I'm glad that's what people know him as now, instead of the wrestler. Because, he was a great wrestler, but, he's Drax. He's Drax.
And, we were standing in line, and this couple and their friend, the one guy, the third wheel that was with him, didn't go up there with him. But the couple goes up there, and Dave Bautista just blatantly hits on this guy's wife.
He undressed this woman with his eyes.
Oh, it was hilarious.
And looked her from toe to forehead as slow as he could, and I'm pretty sure he bit his lip.
And it was funny because obviously the guy noticed, her husband noticed, but then at the back of his mind, he's pretty sure he's going, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to take him. So he just kind of was like, okay,
he was probably thinking, you know what? I've had a good run. If he wants her, he can have her.
But the really cool thing about that couple was that they had a binder in their backpack of all the autographs that they've gotten over the years, and they had some pretty dope.
They had Stan Lee, RDJ, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth. They had a whole 2 pages where they were getting all the people from the Avengers
value of that
movies.
binder was...
Oh, skyrocket.
It was high.
Good Lord.
It was quite high. But, okay.
Dave Bautista was on their list, and they still needed to get Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, who don't do cons, so...
Okay, back to the original story. So, Sean and I get up to Dave Bautista. I've paid my money. I'm getting my autograph. And dumbass over here looks at Dave Bautista straight up and goes, So I heard you wanted to play Gamora.
Oh, that's what I asked.
And Dave Bautista, because he was really chill about it.
He fired right back at me.
He fired right back. He goes, well, I auditioned, but I didn't get the part. But every now and then, I like to go put on the makeup because it makes me feel pretty. And it was the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Straight up, probably 10 or 20 people behind us heard that, and they were like, "Oh!" Like they all laughed.
They were cracking
up.
It
was amazing. I just before we shook hands, and then after that, I was saying bye, and we bro-handed. You know how when you're going in for a handshake and your hand goes angled 40 degrees upward instead, and you wrap your thumbs around each other and then you pull in and you bump chests for a second. You share a moment, and I shared that moment with Dave Bautista.
That was awesome. It was really awesome.
It completely at first I was like, wow, this guy is very, very blatantly sexualizing this woman in front of me, and I'm very uncomfortable about it. And then we bro handshaked after I made a little joke and he made a little joke back at me. So it's kind of balanced on how I feel about Dave Bautista. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Right. Okay. Well, before we do our top 5 list that we had already previously done, I personally would like to talk to you about our top 5 list of people that we've met at cons.
Oh, you want to do 2 top 5s in one episode?
Yes.
You're already calling some shots?
Yes. Ooh. I am your elder boy.
I am your elder boy.
Listen here, Kakarot. You will do as I tell you.
Speaking of that, the new Starbomb album came out today. Oh my god, it's freaking lit. Some of the songs are kind of, you can kind of tell that they're sick of making Starbomb at this point. But there's still some bangers. A Boy in His Boat's good. Vegeta's Serenade is really good.
Oh my god, it's hilarious.
Donkey Kong Jr. is super good. Hi, my name is Donkey Kong. And then the Simple Plot of Kingdom Hearts is really good too, because it's not simple at all. And it's the first time where Danny actually gets confused in the thing. He's like, wait, what? But top 5 people that we've met at cons, just people that we've met.
Top 5 celebrities that we've met.
I haven't met 5 celebrities at cons.
Yes, you have.
I think I might have. Okay, I might have.
I mean, shit. At Walker Stalkers, we had Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Norman Reedus come up to our booth.
Not to mention, I met Robin Lord Taylor at that con.
You geeked out on that.
Yeah.
That was pretty dope.
Okay, I'll start with mine.
Let's hear your top 5.
Okay, my top 5. 5 probably being when Norman Reedus and Jeffrey Dean Morgan came up to the thing. That was pretty cool.
That was awesome.
4 when I sold GoldenEye 007 to John Heater at WonderCon in St. Louis. 3 when I met Robin Lord Taylor. 3 when I met Robin Lord Taylor. 2 was kind of a weird one because I didn't really. I don't watch Walking Dead. I haven't watched it since season 2, but I knew who this person was. We were packing up our stuff last year at Walker Stalker, getting ready to leave, and where our van was parked, it was right where all the limos for the celebrities were parked. So the woman who plays Carol on Walking Dead, I can't remember what her name is. I'll look it up. Just one second. We back. It's Melissa McBride. So we were packing up our stuff, and we were getting ready to leave, and Melissa McBride and a couple other people walk right by the back of our booth. And she looks into our van and is starting to notice all the video games and stuff. She goes, "Oh, you guys sell retro video games and stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah." And it didn't register to me who this was. And so I was just having a conversation with this woman, just talking to her back and forth and stuff. And she was like, "Oh, you guys have a nice day." And I was like, "Okay." And then Tanre goes, "Sean, were you just talking to that woman?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "That was Carol from The Walking Dead." I was like, "Wait, what?" So then I asked her to come back and we took a picture and stuff with my mom. But that was super weird because I didn't know who it was at first, and then it just happened.
Fun fact, I have never watched The Walking Dead, yet we worked at Walker Stalker, and it was very awkward and weird for me because I know Jeffrey Dean Morgan from other stuff.
Yeah.
And I
Yondu,
knew... Yeah.
Denny, Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, I've never seen that either. This is...
So good.
Good book.
It's medically accurate as heck.
Really?
Yeah, it is. Shonda Rhimes actually uses surgical memoirs and documentaries and stuff like that for her writing. For
that's super
Anatomy.
cool. Super cool.
I got Anthony to watch it. He loves it.
Really?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like his cup of tea. But the number one best celebrity encounter I've ever had was when I met Stan Lee at Raleigh. That's
a good number one.
I cried, man. That was amazing.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
I stand in line for 2 hours to meet that man. And then I finally got up there, and he goes, the first thing he said, and this is what made me just completely tear up. He didn't say, "Hi, nice to meet you. How are you?" He said, "I'm sorry you had to stand in line so long just to meet me." And I went, "You wholesome son of a bitch." Oh, such a good guy. But then, like, we met, we shook hands and stuff, and I got a picture with him. And then he said, like, when I was walking away, I was like, "Have a nice day." And he said, "Excelsior." And he said that to everyone, but it still just felt like it was just to me. It was cool. But yeah, that's the best celebrity I've ever met.
I think that's probably like one of the saddest things about like his passing is knowing that I'm never gonna get to like meet him and tell him how much his works have meant to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they mean a lot to like everybody.
I just wish I could have met Jack Kirby, you know?
Oh, yeah.
For real. Those two men are gods.
Straight up.
Anyway, Tanre.
Where do I begin? I've met quite a few people. I'd say Cress Williams, the man who plays Black Lightning. That was awesome.
Yeah.
As a black kid, you don't have a lot of black superheroes, as I aforementioned earlier. But watching that show is amazing because it addresses racial equality and tension and stuff like that. But it's also it's a superhero show. But it was just awesome. And I don't know if like you guys are young, but I don't know if you guys remember on the WB they had a show called Static Shock.
Yeah, yes, of course. I watched
that. Static Shock was the greatest. And like when I met him, I was talking to Cress Williams. I don't know.
You told me about this.
I asked him. I said, I didn't ask him. I said, what would be awesome is if they used Black Lightning in like their last season, whatever season that would be, is if they segued it into where they introduce Static Shock and do a Static Shock show. And he told me, I would actually prefer we do it before that. And then that way they could still branch out into the show, but at least get him, introduced to the CW. And
it's so nice when one of the celebrities that plays a superhero is a big fan of the superhero.
Exactly.
Like how Ryan Reynolds is such a big fan of Deadpool. Like you don't like you'll ask him questions stuff. He'll be like, "Yeah, in like issue 57," and you're like, "What?" Like you're just. Anyway, go ahead.
Let me see. I think meeting Mike Coulter, aka Luke Cage, was awesome. And as I told you, I'm a fat kid, and when we stood side by side, we looked like a before and after weight loss commercial, and it was the most hilarious thing ever. But it was awesome. My number 3 is when I got to meet Stephen Amell and David Ramsey, aka Arrow and Diggle from the show Arrow.
Tanner's name in my phone is T. Diggle.
And they were really cool because people came up with the most ridiculous shit for them to wear in their pictures. And at the time, the company I was working for, we had a really cool t-shirt logo and everything. And I went up to get my picture, and they're like, as I'm getting the picture, like, "Listen, we love that shirt." And they were really cool about it, and they were really awesome. And David Ramsey is huge. Like, he makes Mike Coulter look small.
Big guy.
Number 2, and this is kind of, I don't know how to word it. Number 2, God, what was it? It was the bad guy. Hold on, I gotta look him up real quick.
Okay, sorry, we had to pause real quick.
Okay, so back to the list. Number 2 was I got to meet Sebastian Stan, a.k.a. Winter Soldier. And it was a fluke luck.
Winter Soldier from what?
Captain America. Anyway.
I kid. I only kid.
It was our first con in St. Louis, and we had a designated booth. But this woman who was being kind of a bitch about it took her area with her Funko Pops, and we got relocated. And so we were talking to one of the head people over the con, and she was apologizing to us for us having to move because it took us out of a prime area to sell stuff. But
we probably would have made more money.
But I, being sarcastic, was like, "All right, well, you can make it up to me. I want a picture with Sebastian Stan." She's like, "Done."
We were kidding.
I was absolutely kidding, and she said, "Done." She said, "Just tell me when and where."
He was like, are you serious? How about tomorrow at 2 or something like that? And she was like, yep, cool. Just meet me over there.
Yeah, and sure enough, I went there, and I got bumped to the front of the line. And it was probably one of the coolest things ever. Because celebrities don't get a lot of time between autograph sessions, photo sessions, and then going and doing all
especially one as high caliber as Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, seriously.
And
I'm jealous.
That was awesome.
Very cool.
So, yeah, that happened. And I gotta find it. But my number one.
Well, let me give a little back about the number one. I actually think I know this, and if I'm wrong, then it's gonna be weird. But so Tanre's got the biggest Ninja Turtles collection of anyone I've ever seen. His Ninja Turtle collection makes my Nintendo collection look like a child's toy box. It's amazing. He's got several of the retro vans, a bunch of the retro vehicles and stuff, all of the big action figures. He's got all kinds of really cool stuff. And so we all used to have these badges. And I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before. Mine was Stimpy from Ren and Stimpy. Anthony had Link from Wind Waker. Eli had I think it was Master Chief maybe. And then Tanre had the Ninja Turtles from the 80s TV show Ninja Turtles.
Found it.
And so then this was so cool. What happened was we were walking around and I spot these records out of nowhere, and they have art done on these records, and they had Slash and then the 4 turtles done on these records. So I bought them for Tanre, and then
well, here's the thing. You bought them for me not knowing that I had already met this guy.
No, I didn't even know. And then I went and met this guy not knowing that Tanre had met him. So then when I come back to the booth, I'm like, dude, you got to go check this guy out. And then that's when he told me this story.
But, okay, a little backstory. I am a huge Ninja Turtles fan. And a lot of people would probably think it's a little childish, but it's okay. But the backstory behind that is...
I don't want to grow up, man.
Exactly. I want to grow up a little bit, but not too much that I feel like I lost my innocence.
Oh, shit, I don't want to grow up at all. I don't want to pay bills or...
But, I'm adopted. I was in foster care for 3 years. I bounced around in the foster care system, and it sucked. But everywhere I went, I was able to watch Ninja Turtles. So it was kind of cool. But they were my go-to. Plus, if you really think about it, they were teenage kids who got adopted by Splinter. And basically, when I was adopted... It was really cool.
You were adopted by a kung fu rat.
Right, exactly. No, when I was adopted, and they knew how much Turtles meant to me, the people who adopted me, that when they both worked at BF Goodrich, they had a big party for me. I literally got so much Ninja Turtle stuff that it was ridiculous. So, back at home, still in its package, I have the original Turtles. I will never touch them. But...
I've actually seen these. They're... Like, not even a speck of dust on him because he keeps them in glass. It's
ridiculous. But anyway, Steve Levine. Steve Levine is an artist who has helped illustrate a lot of Ninja Turtle stuff. He's worked with Eastman and Laird. He helped design the
Eastman and Laird are two of the really, really big creators,
big names. Yeah. They're the ones who came up with the original Turtle comics. And it was so surreal. I was minding my business. I was going back to our booth. And I hear this guy go, "Hey, I drew your badge." So I turn and look, and here is this guy, Steve Levine, sitting there with his wife, got a big turtle banner. And I stopped and talked to him for about 20 minutes. I'm pretty sure Sean thought I was lost. Something had happened. Whatever. I don't get emotional in public, and I don't show emotion. But I literally cried in front of this man because... the Turtles have been such an influential part of my life.
Oh no, I feel that.
You know,
I feel that hard. Like I feel that